Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers channel.
And in today's video we are going to see another use case, which is basically to read some values from your text file and put them into a CSV. So this is also a reply video to one of my comment. So let's look at the comment first. So basically this is the comment which is on my file components, where I shown how you can read, write and append your text in a text file. So in that video I have received this comment. So they have a text file which contains some data which looks like this. So I have basically copied different users, like n number of users with name and role. So it like you have a user and the corresponding username, role, and then user name, role. So similarly it just goes to some n number of users, and they want to read this file, which is this text file, and this is our input file, and our output should be like a name and role. It basically should have the header and the corresponding roles value. For example, the first name is test, and the second is, the role is admin, and second is test1 comma editor. So similarly it should have all the user data as a CSV output. So let's see how you can achieve it. Let me remove and save our input file, as we'll be needed to read the input text. So we'll be reading the text file. So you can filter with text, you get this read text. Let me quickly copy the path of it. And this will give us the total text in the file. So this is how it's it. And now our, as it is like to get each name and role, for which we can split each lines or each rows one by one, so that based on that we can apply some string manipulation or any string functions to get the name and role separately. So first let's see how you can split them by each line. As we are going to split it, let's directly use the split component. So let's use this, and here the text is our input file and the separator is new line. So basically for new line we can have this \n or environment.newline, and in some cases it might work with \r and n. So first let's just try with n and let's see. Okay, I'm just going to, okay, this is completed and this should give us the list of everything. If you notice here, for each line you have the separator which is like \r and n, as I said. So this should be the basically the separator. So let's just use it and let's read the output. Let's see. Okay, we are getting that. Maybe let's do this. I'm just going to take a for each and let's pass this collection to here, and we'll use a show to display the output. Okay, let's see. Let's start this. Okay, and if you see, it doesn't give us the output in the expected format. Like all we get is just the input file. So it doesn't work either with R or with \n. So let's give it a try with environment.newline and let's see. Okay, so this also didn't work. Okay, oh sorry. So this one also didn't work, as we get the same input file. As a final thing, let's do this and this should work for sure. Like our separator is just a new line, right? So I'll place my cursor in the separator and just hit enter, and this is considered to be a new line and this will work. If you see, we get each line as a single output. The first is user name text, role admin, user name. Okay, and also you get that additional new line over on top of each value, right? So you can simply use the string to cut all the spaces in both the ends, like start and end. So user, now it's good. Okay, now we have split each string. I think I have some additional Let me place my cursor back, and we have got the values, and next step is to get the values one by one, like your names and roles separately. So I'm just going to use some string utilities. Let's take contains, okay, and let's say that I want to validate if it contains name equal to. So, and this text is nothing but my current object. So we do not want this, so let's transform this directly on our current object itself, and then we'll remove this. Okay. So I'm going to transform it. And then I have created a variable, so let's use this. And the same variable I'm going to use it over here. So in case the particular and in case the split value which contains name equal to, it will be giving the value as true. And this is ignore case, so if you want to ignore the case before you compare it, you can just make it to true. By default it was true. And let me use decision, and let's say is name or not. Okay, its name value is true. Let's display the output to confirm it, and I'm going to display it. So what I should display is the split value. Okay, let's see, and we'll see the output. Okay, so the first one was user. Since it doesn't match with the text contains, it didn't give me that input. So when the name equal to text, a test, it just give us. So test1 and test2, and now this is good. Okay, this is good. And now if you look at the output, you have like along with the name equal to, you have the name. So now we have to do some string manipulation to achieve it, or to get only the name after name equal to. So let me explain, which I have already here. And for both name and role, we have the common symbol, which is equals to. So I'm just using this equals to find the index of that equal, and we need to get the text after equal to. So that is the reason I'm using a substring. So let me take this. Okay, let's preview it, and we'll pick the data and I'll explain. So if you see here, basically substring, or the syntax of substring is like, you need to have your substring and your index one, your first index, and let's say f index, and then your last index should be there. If you just give only your first index, the second index is optional. If you just give only the first index, it just print the index value starting from the first index until the length of the string. So in this case, we just have only one parameter, which is your first string. So this is the one we have, and this first index is nothing but your substring, and basically this value is nothing but your whole value and index of this. So here in this index, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4th index. The reason we are adding 1, the index is always starts from 0, so we wanted to print it from the 5th index. So 4 plus 1 is 5, and it takes 5 until the length of the string. So that is how this substring works, and I'm just going to simply copy it. Okay, let's transform it over here, and now we should just have only the name of each users. Let's see. So yeah, it's good. Test 1 and 2. This is good. So now that we are able to get the name, and we can use this false conditions to print print the role, right? So let me see how does it look. And I'm not changing anything, just using the same transform data, as we are going to have the common equal to on both name and role. If it's name, we'll be printing the name. If it's not, we are going to print the role. But let's see what's the output now. If you see, the first time we got user, because the first splitted value is not your name, so it's just going to the false black and giving you user. Second, it's printing text, and then third is admin user, because obviously it's not a name. So user test1 editor, user test2, and your viewer. So we just made sure that it is not considering print the user. So let's do one thing. I want to add an additional decision. Whenever the value is false, it shouldn't be an user, right? So let's say is value equal to user, and I'm just using the same way how the user was displayed in the text input. If you want, you can just transform your data to convert to lowercase, and then you can compare it. And this value is nothing but your split value. Okay, let me do that. Sorry. So it's over here, and then you should be having that. If it's equal to user, you do not want to print anything and you want to just print the role. You can also have the condition if it's equals to role or something, but I'm just having user. Okay, we have test1 and editor, test2, viewer, and this is good as we are just ignoring the user. Okay, now that we are able to get each name and role for each user individually, and the next step is to put them into a CSV which is separated by comma basically. So let's see how you can achieve that. And again, I'm going to use this text file to have my column, and then text file to have my rows as well. Okay, so I'm going to create two temporary variables which is called temporary name and temporary role for each user, just to save them in a temporary variable. Instead of printing the value, I'm just going to assign them into my temporary name. So let's quickly copy the transform data and we'll put it over here. As we are transforming the data, what we are transforming is the splitted value, right? So we should be giving this. In case you need, you can still have the message box, but it's not required for the first execution. Let's just have it, and later we'll remove it. Okay, now that we have saved the name and role in a variable, and the next step is to just append your text. So how the text should be appended, as we discussed, it should be like your name comma role, and then you should be having your name, role, and T1 and role 2 and everything. This is how it should. So in order to achieve this, maybe you can use a script or again a variable to have this, but I'm going to use another way which is called format text, which looks simpler to me. So let's take this format text, and this format text needs to be placed on, after we get a role, because every time we get a role, that first user gets completed and the second user starts with again a user. So whenever I get my role saved into my variable, I'm just mapping that to the variable. Let's have the two parameter. First is my role, second is my first is my variable, and then second is my role. So this is my name, this is my role, and let's quickly map the variable we created, temp name, temp role. So before we write them into a text file or CSV, let's display it. Okay, and I want to display, let's clear it, run it. Okay, the first name, which is test, this is good, and second should be admin. And if you see, test and admins are concatenated or appended, and we have it. And test1 editor, test1 comma editor, test2 viewer, and then that's it. If you have n number of users, it just loop through for n number of users, and then it will be displaying you the correct output. Okay, now that we got everything, our final step is to just put them into an Excel. I'm just going to use an append text, because every time we format it, we want to append it so that we have all the values in a single file. And also, before which, let's say what's the right text. Let me use a right text. Maybe before I read it, I'll use it. Basically, I just wanna write my text as a header, because header should be just written once. So file path, let's say text to CSV dot CSV. So this dot CSV is the extension of CSV file, and here my data is like name comma role. Okay, this is good. And let's copy the same file path. In case required, you can have a variable for the file path, so it will not have to be static always. and then your text is nothing but the text that you get over here. Okay, and right now I do not have such files created. All I have is just text file. So let's complete and we'll see the output. Test one, editor, good. So everything looks good, and if you see, this should be true because we do not have any error on that activity, sorry, on that component. If I go over here, okay, I have written into my project folder, as I do not given any specific folder, so automatically I just write in my project folder. I have the CSV file which is like this one. Let me open it. So for now our output looks something like this, which is not expected, right? So the reason is that we are not telling the text file that it should be written in this order, so I just append the text on how we just write it, right? So I'll close it and let's do one thing. I'm just going to add a new line over here, so in that way you just start appending everything into new line, I guess. So I think this should work, but let's see. We have the role, text one. Okay, I think I didn't delete the previous execution, so let's do one thing. I'll delete everything, I'll save it, and we'll just have a final execution without the message box. I'll remove all the message box and we'll clear it off, run it. So yeah, good now. Okay, I think I just have my cursor, but yeah, this is how we just written the value, name, role, test, admin, and whatever value you have. This is the comment. So like we have written the same file, and then however they want, we have created the CSV table with columns, name, role, and with each value of user, and we have completed the use case as well. So I hope you guys find this use case helpful, and also in case you guys have any doubts or any use case to be created, you can ask them in my community post or any of my videos. You can take a look at them and I'll create a separate video as well. And in case you guys find this video useful, don't forget to like. Thank you so much for watching this video till then.